Xtracycle is a brand that's been at it from the beginning, making Longtail cargo bikes popular with their quality builds and well thought out designs. As far as we know, Xtracycle is the original builder of the Longtail cargo bike design. Analog bikes were part of their lineup for years, but with time comes change. E-bikes have made commuting more accessible and easier to do. It was a natural evolution for Xtracycle to phase out the analog bikes and begin to only offer e-bikes. A 26-inch front wheel and a 20-inch rear wheel makes for a bike that handles with a nimbleness that one would normally achieve on a regular length bike. It's true, having gear and kids on board will change the handling, but with this bike you can barely tell that you're driving a kid hauling machine at all. Different from other cargo bikes we've tested, the Swoop has a mid-drive motor, hydraulic disc brakes, and comfortable rear seating for passengers. The Swoop is able to seat 2 additional passengers and can be configured in several variations between kid hauling and cargo carrying duties. The bike has fenders, lights, and a battery mounted between the seat tube and rear wheel. Compared to the hub-driven competition, the Swoop is light years ahead between design factors and quality functionality. The Swoop has a top tube and down tube that both run parallel down to the bottom end of the seat tube. The top tube swoops inward and the down tube houses the Shimano EP8 motor, bottom bracket, and crank arm assembly in a tidy fashion. Chain and seat stays run back into the rack end. A robust assembly of tubing houses a 20-inch rear wheel and the deck for kids' seats, storage, big kids, etc. The frame is able to accommodate a front basket or rack as well and looks sleek and refined. The bike owner is able to change the configuration of basket and handrail options to either haul more gear or more kids. There are padded options and the rear end of the Swoop is the most comfortable e-cargo bike we've tested. The Xtracycle Swoop has an 11-speed SRAM NX drivetrain that is simple and easy to use. It's not SRAM's high-end offering, but it does the job without complaint. The frame is steel and the fork is steel. The wheels are Alex rims paired with Schwalbe Supermoto tires, KT hubs, and steel spokes. A lot of the parts are mountain bike components that are super durable and add an element of worry-free care to the steed. The seat is house branded and quite comfortable. The brakes are Tektro M7454 piston brakes. This is the first cargo e-bike I've ridden with hydraulic disc brakes and it makes an amazing difference in ride quality. Other components like the aluminum fenders, Marwe grips, and rack system add to the quality of the bike. These components provide safety and comfort, making for a smooth, enjoyable ride. The integrated lights are a bonus that allow one to make it home at night. The Steps EP8 is a proven system that works well and lasts. Xtracycle made a great choice in stocking the Shimano EP8 on the Swoop. The system on our test bike is used and a little older. Current systems stocked have a 630 watt-hour battery. The rider has to turn the battery on via a button on the battery versus the display. The Shimano system is designed for mountain bikes. It works well and there's no drag when pedaling. Other bikes tend to have a space for the battery to be housed in the frame. The Swoop has the battery externally mounted behind the seat tube. This is possibly the biggest risk in the design of the system, but not a non-starter. The handling of the bike feels efficient with the battery placed in its mount. The Xtracycle Swoop can be configured in several variations to haul kids and gear. The version we received for review was set up to haul older kids with the half hoopty rail system. It was a thoughtful design that had enough railing to add safety while also providing the most comfortable rear passenger area I have ever seen on a cargo bike. The Swoop is ready for commuting and family adventures. The seating area had deluxe padding with additional pads around the handrail. The seating curled into a backrest, allowing our little rascal to sort of lounge while we rode. The team at Xtracycle also included an everyday bike pack Pannier Bag, freeloader 2 slings, 2 magnetic baskets that double as a wheel cover, and ample storage in the front basket. The Porter Packer front storage was so big that we rarely needed to use the rear storage options. Xtracycle has a myriad of options and configurations one can choose to customize their own bike. Truly, the bike can change as your children grow. One can mount child seats like the Yep Maxi to the rear rack. As time moves on, the rear end can be adapted for big kids that want to sit on a comfy seat and hold some handlebars or lounge in comfort while they're chauffeured to soccer practice. This bike can eliminate the need for a car in most local commuting situations and it makes for great daily family adventures. The Xtracycle Swoop weighs in at 63 pounds. The bike is noticeably lighter than any other cargo bike I've ever ridden. This reduction in weight has a dramatic effect on the handling and braking of the bike. The handling of the Swoop feels natural and similar to an auxiliary mountain bike. Parking and moving the bike around can be a little challenging due to weight, but it's far easier than one of the heavier models we've tested prior. When the bike is loaded with both kids and gear, you'll certainly notice it. The biggest challenge with the Swoop in regard to weight is that there's no throttle. When e-bikes have a throttle, it's easier to come to a stop and get going again. The Swoop is a pedal-only bike and it takes some serious leg power to accelerate the bike when stopped while fully loaded with kids and gear. Loading and unloading a cargo bike with children and groceries can be a challenge. The Swoop has a spring-loaded dual-leg kickstand that worked as it should. It is a necessary and durable component that will keep the bike upright and ready to park anywhere you can lock the bike. The Swoop has integrated bike lights both front and rear. Integrated bike lights are never the brightest option, but they seem to do the job. Most times I'll run one of my Night Rider lights to supplement the lights on the bike. We received a medium Swoop frame that's not only a visual stunner, but it fit and rode for both my wife and myself quite comfortably. The Callaway handlebars sweeping back at 24 degrees in beach cruiser fashion make for a stable, fast pedal even fully loaded. Neither one of us had anything negative to say about the ride quality of this steel steed. The touch points, grips, pedals, and saddle are all great choices for this bike. It's great that neither myself nor my wife need to make any adjustments. The seat's slightly low for me and slightly high for her. Not enough on this comfort cruiser to be of any concern though. The Shimano EP8 system consists of 3 power settings. The first setting feels heavy compared to normal pedaling and barely carries the weight of the bike. Mode 2, or trail mode, feels like the motor is carrying the bike's weight but pedaling is normal. Mode 3, turbo mode, is my favorite setting. The bike cruises with ease and comfort as you fly down the road. The Swoop is a Class 1 e-bike. That means the motor will limit the rider to about 20 miles per hour. The Shimano EP8 is a great e-bike motor, but there's no throttle to help the pedal assist. There's no drag from the motor, and if you're cruising down a hill, it will surpass the 20-mile mark without adding drag to the motor at all. Pedaling up to 20 miles per hour is another story. It takes some serious leg power to reach max speed, at least for me. The 630 watt-hour Shimano battery does its job well. Like most e-bikes, I was able to pedal just over 20 miles in the turbo setting. Range is always variable because of body weight and dependent on the choice of pedal assist level. The middle setting does extend the range quite a bit and feels the most like an auxiliary bike to me. The Swoop's battery range is adequate for all my commuting needs that I experience. I do work from home but take my son to school, sports, and extracurriculars and do all of my grocery shopping and local commuting via e-bikes. Shimano has designed a quality e-bike system and the display is part of that. Although we were required to power the system on via the battery button, the display controlled everything else. Like most e-bikes, it displays the bike's speed, assist setting, battery level, and can be set for miles or kilometers, and controls the integrated lights. Xtracycle's been hard at work creating cargo bikes for a few decades now. Integrating e-bike motors to their steel frames was one of the best decisions they've ever made. Cargo and e-bike are nearly synonymous with each other. Comparing the Swoop to the competition is like comparing oranges to apples. They're just not the same thing. Xtracycle includes components that are built to last and provide a safe, consistent experience. Xtracycle includes hydraulic disc brakes. The running boards, storage solutions, and kit hauling capacity exude comfort and ease of use. The Swoop is a safe, comfortable, and functional e-cargo bike that's well worth its value. Everything from the sweeping contours of the frame to the brakes and the other components easily convey Xtracycle's commitment to providing a high-quality e-cargo bike. Consider the Xtracycle Swoop as your next family hauling rig. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.